Okay, so first open mic question on The Last Man. Most of you have gotten to at least chapter 8 by now. You had to for Wednesday. Some of you have probably at least finished volume 1. Where is the plague? We have a whole volume with not really any indication that there's going to be a plague or any indication of why it would be called The Last Man. However, chapter 11, the last chapter of volume 1, opens with this sentence. After these events, it was long before we were able to attain any degree of composure. A moral tempest had wrecked our richly freighted vessel, and we, remnants of the diminished crew, were aghast at the losses and changes which we had undergone. So here's Shelley using the analogy of a shipwreck to describe kind of what's gone on between the relationships that we have followed up to this point. So here's my conundrum. What is Shelley doing in this first volume? Once you get to volume 2, you'll see that she is very interested in what happens when the plague arrives and the sort of ethical dilemmas that it brings up. So it's not as if the plague is some secondary interest for her, and it certainly creates the plot and the interest of volume 2. So why does she need volume 1? Now, I'm asking you to think about this question before you've read volume 2, but in some ways I'm interested in how you might answer that question without having read volume 2. What seems important to you in volume 1? What is it that you feel like Shelley is trying to do through this novel so far? What kinds of issues is she interested in? And if we think about the way that she's going to close out this volume with this idea of a moral tempest wrecking these friends' lives, what is it that has gone so wrong? What are the problems that Shelley is pointing out sort of in these interpersonal relationships with these problems? So that's my open mic question to you. What's going on in volume 1? What is Shelley focused on? What kinds of issues is she trying to focus us on? If we don't have the plague driving the plot in volume 1, what is it? What's the main deal in volume 1?